This game is rated M for mature. Hey there everybody, redxparasite here, and welcome back to Let's Play Bayonetta. In the last episode, we took on the second major boss, Temperantia, and beat him into a pulp, and then blew him up. So, in this episode, we're going to be getting our kicks on Route 666. So let's get that started.
Bridge in these heels? I don't suppose I can call a cab to get me to the island.
Look alive, people! We have an unidentified vehicle approaching. Close the gate!
I told you there was nothing to worry about.
Mummy! Mummy saved us!
What?
Hello there, Cheshire.
Shit!
Mummy!
It seems your driving is on par with your journalism.
I figured I'd beat you to the island, but the guards had another idea, didn't they? Not really my best plan, huh?
You think you've got me figured out, don't you?
We journalists have to have some detective skills, you know? You're after a gemstone, and that stone has to be in the Ithaval group building. I'm headed there too.
How odd. You seem to know where I'm going before I do. Yet you don't seem to know how to drive a car in a straight line.
What am I? A chauffeur?
Cheshire, do you have any idea what prolonged walking in this salty air will do to my hair?
Well, I tend to use some product when I go to the beach.
Little one, get down! Put your foot down, Cheshire. I'll take care of our pest problem.
Wonderful.
I'm getting the distinct impression I'm not wanted on that island. But I love it when people play hard to get.
Okay, so we're getting thrown into the action here. And right off the bat, we have a verse where we're fighting on some vehicles. Oop. I apparently cannot see any attacks at all. That bodes well. But with this verse, you can fall off, and if you land on the road, you'll kind of skid and then you'll come back, and it will hurt you and you'll lose some time. So try not to fall if you can. Now the timing is actually pretty lenient for this verse in terms of what you need in order to get a good score, so it definitely pays to take your time in terms of getting around to all the enemies here and killing them. Now the only downside to that is that you'll probably lose your combo, so it's a bit of a tricky verse if you're trying to go for a score. I try not to care about it too much because I always end up messing something up, and, you know, it's not worth crying over spilt milk, as it were. So that should be the end of this first verse here. Yeah, I didn't do so great on the combo. And starting off the second verse, we're going to be on the road here, and there are going to be cars coming, so you'll need to dodge those because they will hit you. Like that. But the only enemies that we have to deal with here are these three joys. Again, this one can be a bit of a pain, especially when, you know, things keep interrupting your combos. Get back here. Like, she keeps on running away from me, too, which is not helping me finish this verse in a timely manner. Yeah. That's all I have to say about that. So say hello to Irenic, and yes, there is a car enemy. Because we're getting to the part of this that I actually like a little bit more. You know, this chapter is we have a motorcycle section, so game's gonna give you the controls here. Obviously, left and right to steer. You can speed up or slow down by tilting forward or backwards, and you can basically fire guns and jump, and you can also evade things. It's pretty simplistic, but still pretty fun. So basically, there's no reason that you shouldn't be holding the fire button all the time. There's really no downside to doing that. So what you're aiming for is there are those Irenic enemies that will be popping up occasionally. So there's another one of them right there. And so as long as you're kind of pointed towards them, you should be able to kill them as long as you're not going too fast. You will also have some enemies standing on cars, although I think that doesn't show up until a little bit later. So you can get witch time for dodging things. So actually, here's some joys standing on these cars that are giving us some laser beams. Now, if you dodge them or you dodge these cannon bursts, then you will get witch time off of those, which gives you more time basically to shoot the enemies on the cars and kill them. So it is worth trying to go for that. It's not just kind of useless like it is in certain situations. Now, of course, there's a really nice track here. So going across this bridge, there's some beloveds. And you're not going to be able to kill these. They have too much health, but they will try to attack you, so just be prepared to dodge. And aside from that, don't run into anything. Of course, if you can avoid it like that. I don't think it damages you, but it does slow you down. Nope. I could have sworn I hit the evade button there, but game disagrees with me. So really, it's not that hard of a section, but it doesn't have to be hard to be fun. So you might think that there aren't any collectibles in this stage just because of the format, but you'd be wrong. So on the second bridge here in verse 3, which is going to be coming up somewhat soon, you need to actually go up the side support of the bridge, and once we get closer to it, it'll be a little bit more obvious what that is. I think it's after this tunnel that's coming up here. But you'll need to go up the side and kind of do a loop. Doesn't really make much sense from a physics standpoint, but we're a witch, so you know we can disregard the laws of physics if we so please. So here it is coming up. So you're going to want to get off to the right here and head for this. Now, the hitbox on this is not as big as you might think. You can actually drive past it and miss it, which, you know, can be kind of a bummer if you figured out that you needed to take this. Now, one thing you're going to want to do is cross back over to the right side of traffic once you come off the left side there, because you'll actually end up on the other side of the highway. And if you stick on the other side of the highway, you can actually run into opposing traffic, and that instantly kills you, which is fun. Plus, you'll also miss out on score because all the enemies are actually on this side of the road, because it's the side of the road that the game expects you to be on. So just take a hard right once you get off that bridge, so that you don't have to deal with any of that stuff. And so we're going through another tunnel. I'm pretty sure these barriers here that are closing are timed exactly so that no matter how fast you go, you'll probably have to evade to get under them. Because if you go faster, I think they start closing faster, so they kind of just keep pace with you. And nope, I kind of was not expecting that. So I think is this the one that I need to take, or is it the next one? You need to take one of these exits because there is a broken witch heart off to the side, and the physics kind of screwed up on me there. Usually the physics in this section aren't that bad, but they can mess up a little bit. Like that was definitely too close for comfort. Yeah, jumping really doesn't help much in those sections. So there you go. There's the broken witch heart. So that is off the first exit after that tunnel right there. So make sure you get on that. And what I find funny about this exit is that we're actually just going to end up right back on the highway. It didn't really connect to anything of note. Oh man, I'm really not hitting these edges well, apparently. I don't think it's hurting me, but it's kind of slowing me down some. Oh, wait, what did I run into? It's kind of lost health there. I'm not really sure why. But we did actually switch verses in the middle. Right there. It was kind of subtle. But not too much to say. At this point, kind of explain. I don't know if I got hit by that or not, but controls are pretty basic, and aside from that, it's just kind of learning where the enemies are, what you need to do. If you want to get a good time on this verse, I think you do have to kind of speed up in sections where you can. So like that's a good section right there to kind of speed up. But you do need to take out as many enemies as you can in order to get a good combo score. Because really, the combo score for these verses is more dependent on did you hit everything as opposed to, did you actually maintain a combo? So we're getting close to the end of the section here. The game's going to force us to take the exit. Ooh. And that is like much scarier than it usually is. The other times that I've played this stage. So just keep following this and we'll be back on the main road here. Okay, so the bridge ahead of us is out now, so we're actually gonna have to do what we did for the second bridge and go across the archway. There's nothing on this one, but you do have to take it in order to get across. And that will mark the end of the motorcycle section. So yeah, we were a little short on time there. We only got a gold for that. I agree with you, Luca.
Turn right. Get off the road. I know you don't want me here, but you really could have been more subtle about it.
So we have some new enemies here. They're kind of like mini beloveds. They're called Braves. Now, these guys, if you leave them alone for long enough, or don't kill them quickly enough, then they will actually form together to create a beloved. And we're actually in a situation here where we can't use witch time. So this verse is not really my favorite because they have some really fast attacks. And one of them is like this stomp. And I did actually really terribly on that in terms of, I didn't even kill one of them. But yeah, they're not my favorite. Just because that stomp attack is just so fast and it's hard to get damage in without witch time. So, not really a big fan of this verse. I mean, you have plenty of time. Like, we are on a timer, but that's not really the issue. So yeah, like I did terrible on the damage there. And I actually did okay on combo and time, which, I guess damage was really the only thing. So, kind of fell into a giant portal there. Don't know where it leads quite yet. So that is Route 666. I suppose that's not too bad of an overall score. There are parts of it that I really like. The motorcycle sections, I like those. The other verses I'm not really that keen on. Just kind of have to deal with them if you want to play that chapter. So let's see if I can do a little bit better on this minigame this time. Oops, that was way too early. Like, I was trying to lead the shot, but I lit it a little bit too much. All right, so we can get two more of these guys and be golden. So that will leave us with 4 45,000 halos, so we can get another one of those moon pearls. I'm going to prioritize getting those first, because I am trying to get everything in terms of, you know, max health and max magic meter, so we'll need to get those at some point, so I may as well get them now so that, you know, we can actually make use of them.
No matter how much you ask, I'm not putting a chainsaw on your arm. So what do you want?
What I want is a moon pearl, which you just so happen to have, so thanks. So that's actually our full bar there. We just got the second bar complete. But this episode's getting up there on time, so once we get back to the menu here, we'll say thank you very much for watching. I've been redxparasite, signing out.